Burna Boy is being dressed up by Louis Vuitton. Burna Boy is wearing a Louis Vuitton wristwatch or whatever they sell. That's marketing for Louis Vuitton. Are African stylists and the guys in the textile industry willing to do the same?
Are you sure? Are you sure it's not because Burna Boy has signed a contract with Louis Vuitton, and Louis Vuitton imposes upon him to say, oh, you cannot wear another designer for the next 10 years.
But if an African did that, how would that be seen by the African people?
No, I mean, it's also, that's what I mean by the brain drain, or when you sign contracts sort of out of ignorance, or, you don't have the specialist. If you're an artist, you need the technical persons, the music, sound engineers, you need like I mentioned, the lawyers, you need a lot of people. So you need the promoters as well to help you push your work. Yeah. You're not an island on your own.
This exchange is happening enough among Africans first before we deal with the Westerners.
Well, yes, it does happen. It's very funny. It happens, yes. It's like brothers in the house. They will have disputes and argue and you quarrel with one another. But once they go outside and there's an outsider trying to attack them, they form a block. They form a defense. I think that's the same issue with us as Africans. So if a foreigner or an outsider wants to come and attack one African country, you find the rest of all Africans saying, mind your business. This is family issue. This is our own situation. Let's deal with it. We don't need your influence. Go and deal with yours, And then that helps us to settle amicably.
All right. Thank you very much and welcome once again to the Africa Discourse channel. I remember Richard Joseph and I am here with a creative individual and we're about to shine the light on the creative economy in Africa. As you know, at Discourse channel, we highlight the voices that are shaping the industries, making the future of Africa a prospective one. And I'm joined now by the director of Alliance Française in Ibadan, Nigeria, or your state?
Oyo State.
She's here visiting Ghana, and we're excited to talk to her about the creative industry, what she's doing here in Ghana, and key lessons about the entire ecosystem and what the future holds for that industry. Welcome to the Africa Discussion, madam.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing?
I'm very fine.
You've had a great time in Ghana?
Absolutely.
How are you enjoying Ghana so far?
It's fantastic. The people are warm and welcoming, and I came for the Festac African Renaissance Festival, which is also very interesting. So we get to meet people from all over the world, and most especially African brothers and sisters. And all of us have the aim, objective, the goal of, making Africa great again and reconnecting with one another without borders, either for economic reasons or for socio-cultural reasons. So yes, that's fantastic.
So let's do a deep dive to the creative economy. And I like the word you use, making Africa great again. How can the creative sector or the creative industry contribute towards making Africa great again?
Alrighty. Okay. So my perspective is this. Africa sort of colonized, I wouldn't even use the word colonized, has spread all over the world without violence. And what I mean by that is that we influence people positively all around the world through our creative energy, our creative industries. So talking about music, in the areas of music, movie industries, festivals, fashion, name it. Even in terms of brain intelligence.
Innovation, intelligence.
Exactly. Yeah. So we're all over the world. We're sort of forced out of Africa one way or the other because...
Is it the jackpot syndrome?
Yes, we've been sold a story, a narrative for the longest time possible to make you think that, the pasture is greener on the other side. So all your life long, you've just been... shaped to want to get out of the country of Africa because it seems better on the other side. So, that then your innate energy, your innate creativity is expressed wherever you find yourself, whether in Africa or outside Africa. Yes, whether you like it or not, just by the way you dress or the way you talk or the food you eat, you're exporting African creativity.
So they are unique attributes of an African. Anytime, any day you see one, you can spot that.
Yes, you can. They don't need to even struggle or force it. It just comes naturally.
So what are the key areas shaping the Africa creative industry?
Okay, so the key areas, in fact, the movie industry, we've heard about Nollywood and all the other movie industries are cutting across Africa, South Africa, and all that. In areas of music, you have Nigerian musicians that are making waves all over the world. You have Ghanaian musicians making waves all over the world. The same goes for South Africa and all other countries. It's not fixed in one particular place at a particular time. So the energy moves.
So it means that within each ecosystem or each region within the African continent, we have what's it's on the rise and what's it's a little bit trendy, what is trendy. So maybe say Nigerian music is quite more trendy. Nigerian and South African music are quite more trendy, and say Tanzanian or what have you.
Yes, however, a few years ago, or some years ago, probably 10, 15 years ago, you had Kofi Olomide. That's Congo. Congo music was trending all over the world. You had music from Côte d'Ivoire. As well, that
those
songs, now it's Nigeria,
Afrobeats, the Amapiano,
exactly, or even music from Ghana. I like this young man, Black Sheriff.
The Traveler.
Yes, exactly. And there's also another one. His name skips my mind now, but these are Ghanaian musicians that I really like. So without even making too much effort, we export it and we sell worldwide. Music stadiums are like filled up to the brim. As soon as they put out the tickets, we're sold out. So
do you also think that we are facing a brain drain issue with the African creative sector?
I'm not so much afraid of the brain drain. I'm afraid much of the manipulation that goes behind.
What kind of manipulations are we seeing?
So rights, music rights or royalties and stuff like that. So if you're streaming music on some particular streaming platforms, who owns the right to those music? Who owns the right to those royalties? What are the kind of contracts our own artists are signing? And then are we sure they're not being influenced? Now they become agents in a way, or the poster figure to manipulate or influence. No, I would not even say manipulate, just influence the masses with the kind of message they're passing across. Why is it that we cannot pass across music that really carries message of African pride and strength and all that? Why is it just like socially cool kind of music without necessarily reinforcing the strength of being an African and taking pride, or just changing the mindset? So it's a form of social engineering.
Is this a battle against what is trendy?
You can it's about the beats, but it's now about the beats and the rhythm and all that. It's also about the message. Yes, the message.
It's about what is trendy, because we see that there's a certain porousness of influx of Western culture.
That's it.
Right? And that is
the unseen face in a way that
influencing the music, even the artists, how they do the song, because
what they wear,
yes, and all of those now. And just to draw a quick dichotomy around that is how this is also shaping our education sector, because it's also influencing our culture, and we might be losing our culture as a people.
Yeah, so this is a lifelong battle in a way. I mean, I would say it's been going on for decades or millenniums, who knows. What I mean by that is that in as much as it seems that somehow Africans are no longer wearing African attire and all that, we also seen a part of our people or countries in Africa that are really like into wearing and promoting African textile and fashion. And that's how you have fashion designers that are on world stages, and they are selling out. Portraying African fashion. So you find them in Paris Fashion Week, London Fashion Week and stuff like that. So yes, these kind of people are good examples of Africans that are portraying our culture through modernity, fashionable trends to set the pace for others to follow. So I think that's a good way. What I would love is that you have African designers working or collaborating with African musicians, artists, where the artist, the performer, wears the designs of our own African art, promoting different African textiles. When that is done, that means that we're able to pass a message to say, oh, we have Kitenge, Ashoke.
But the problem there is with the African art stylist, right? Do that because we see these big brands almost do it for free. Because they use that as a way, because for instance,
nothing is free. Nothing is free.
Well, nothing is free.
Yeah.
But Burna Boy is being dressed up by Louis Vuitton, right? That's Louis Vuitton is wearing Burna Boy is wearing a Louis Vuitton wristwatch or whatever they sell, and that's marketing for Louis Vuitton. African stylists and the guys in the textile industry wouldn't do the same.
Are you sure? Are you sure it's not because Burna Boy has signed the contract with Louis Vuitton, and Louis Vuitton imposes upon him to say, oh, you cannot wear another designer for the next 10 years.
But if an African did that, how would that be seen by the African people?
No, I mean, it's also, that's what I mean by the brain drain, or when you sign contracts sort of out of ignorance, or, you don't have the specialists, the lawyers that will help you draft of solicitors that will help you draft of the perfect kind of contracts that would favor you.
Yeah.
So you find yourself in a situation whereby you just have to obey what is stipulated in the contract. I don't know all the details of this, but from what I say, I think there are some issues that
Let's track back a bit to what you do at Alliance Française. Can you give us a better understanding about what's all at Alliance Française involved and how this ties into the creative?
All right. So prior to me being the director of Alliance Française, I'm an artist by profession, translator, all that. And I've worked with children, using art as a tool of expression for mental wellness, and, just generally, I wouldn't say influence, educating. Yes. Young and adults.
Yeah.
Empowerment. So that has brought me to the point where, becoming the director of Alliance Française in Ibadan, I'm also able to use that experience to curate events, to bring about programs where we can use cultural diplomacy. I'm not against Europeans, where we can use cultural diplomacy to bridge the gap between Africans, Nigerians, in particular Yorubas in the region where I find myself, and the Western world, so that there can be a good exchange. You learn from them, they learn from us. There needs to be no war or hate or racism or discrimination. What needs to happen is mutual understanding and how to work together peacefully.
Are these exchanges happening enough among Africans first before we deal with the Westerners?
Well, yes, it does happen. It's very funny. It happens, yes. It's like brothers in the house. They will have disputes and argue and quarrel with one another. But once they go outside and there's an outsider trying to attack them, they form a block. They form a defense. I think that's the same issue with us as Africans. So if a foreigner or an outsider wants to come and attack one African country, you find the rest of all Africans saying, mind your business. This is family issue. This is our own situation. Let's deal with it. We don't need your influence. Go and deal with yours, And then that helps us to settle amicably.
I'm about to call out the situation we had recently when Burkina Faso was threatened by France. I mean, we Africans wanted to also threaten Burkina Faso. We had the president of Nigeria at the time wanting to invade Burkina Faso, so in the other regions. So, I mean, is that really the case? Are we seeing a change in that?
Okay, so
maybe that's political, so we can speak about that.
We can, to a certain extent. The fact that one person said to be representing the whole country speaks for people does not mean that the people agree with that. So yes, the president has spoken, the president of Nigeria has spoken on behalf of Nigerians, but do Nigerians agree with that? Do other peoples of other countries agree with what the presidents are doing against the fellow African country member or country states, states member? I don't think so. People see the evidence of what they desire, the hope that they expect, the perfect kind of model that we expect in a leader. across Africa. And so if all African leaders were emulating Traore, I think we all will be happy and we'll all be better off for it. So, you know.
So you do agree that Ibrahim Traore is a priority figure that leaders of African descent should look out for or look onto?
Not necessarily, but I think everybody can follow their own pathway in the right way. Traore is doing what he thinks is best for his country.
Yeah.
And the people are feeling the effects. Even other African countries are also sensing the effects of what Traore is doing, and they're all applauding him. Now, another African leader can do what is best for his own people without selfish reasons, without listening to, you know, external influences.
But
So, you know,
I mean, the other African leaders
but it's
could
a
say,
good model.
yeah, it's a good model. We agree with that. But the other African leaders could say that they're also doing what is best for their people at the time.
Well,
We're looking at foreign direct investment. That's what the people want. They want access to
people want what?
foreign direct investment. They want more investors in the country. All right, they want more off-takers. If I'm in the real estate industry, I want more foreigners to buy mine because they can afford it.
Yes, so that's what the problem is. So we're selling out that way, in a way.
You're really selling out.
Well, it's selling out because, you know, you sign a contract 100 years from now, if we don't really have documentation, so the other person comes and says, oh, it's not for 100 years, it's for 1,000 years.
Yeah.
So you're indebted to that person who has been able to document,
I see.
you know. So do we need to sell? Do we need to sell land? That's, for me, real estate is the greatest wealth that we have, because on land, you find everything else: water, freshwater resources, trees, plants, everything, animal, the fauna, everything on it. So in exchange for that real tangible wealth, you get what?
Cash.
Paper.
We need cash to survive.
Paper. It's all. Can we continue?
No, we can continue.
Paper.
Yeah.
That's on what? Not longer on gold or any tangible natural resource. So that when you sell what is real, tangible, for something hypothetical, in a way, I think we're losing out.
All right, let's just track back to the creative conversation and let's see what from your position, what are the future prospects for the creative industry, and how do you see synergies between African nations in promoting the creative economy?
Oh yes, the synergy is coming about a great deal. So we see, like in the movie industry, we see a lot of synergizing and collaborations within Nigerians and South Africans, between Nigerians and Ghanaians, and, you know, Nigerians and Cote d'Ivoire. So there's a lot of collaborations going on. Same goes for the music industry. Same goes for art. You have artists who are collaborating on projects, or they go for residencies and then they exchange. So, but for me, it's the intellectual property and then the rights that really count, that would, you know, for long term, not just the superficial excitement, the fame that comes with it, but the real paperwork behind it, the legal framework that counts a great deal.
I think just to stay on that idea of the rights and that being a concern, is it because patented, yes. Is it because the African artists at the time of curation or inception do not have the means to secure such rights? What can we do to improve access to systems, procedures that help secure the African creative?
Okay, so that's like a form of blockchain. That's why no field of expertise should be isolated. If you're an artist, you cannot be isolated because you need the lawyers. If you're an artist, you need the technical persons, the music sound engineers. You need like I mentioned, the lawyers. You need a lot of people. So too, you need the promoters as well to help you push your work. You're not an island on your own. So if we need to have more specialists and then more trainings. So these specialists come and train the performers. Even the songwriters too. They all need to come together, have constant workshops and trainings, and then create also, how would I say it, maybe an association, an organization that forms a block. a block in each country, and those blocks now link up together so that what happens in one country cuts across all the other countries, and then dissemination of information. So if they're trying to play you in one country, they go to another country, they know it's not possible because you already have information that is diffused on a general platform. So IT comes in handy.
I'm just going to go to that because we see that tech is actually driving change within the creative economy, especially with the intervention with blockchain technology. So we have the NFTs and the like. So how do you see African creative really adapting or adopting tech in the use of or the curation of their art? Or you still see some challenges there? Do we need education to maybe upscale them? And what do you think that ought to be done by these artists themselves, by communities, by cooperatives to get the right solution that cuts across?
Okay, so first and foremost, funding, financial muscle or financial strength is very important. So no man can do it alone. I personally love communal work. So is it possible to have platforms where everybody is a part of something in the sense that no matter how big or small the amount that you have, you contribute your quota on a regular basis for funding projects, and then you co-own. So co-ownership is very important. It also means a sufficient constant flow of cash to fund things, to pay for services and all. So that being said, that would cut across into other areas where IT, a lot of training and even for the younger ones to come, not even the ones already in the music industry. The younger ones to come, you begin to train them. Education is endless. You know, to make them become aware of possibilities. So you're no longer limited to being a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer. There are lots of professions. I'm presently amazed by the fact that right now we have a lot of social media, you have handlers, you have content creators, you have videographers, and I'm just learning about all these professions.
Youthful population that diving into the creative economy.
Exactly. So, you know, I will now, when it comes to work, I just say, okay, you guys, this is your world, this is your time. You're the specialist. Go ahead, tell me. They asked me to tell them. I said, you know what is best. Tell me, and then I will give you the consent if it suits me well. And all that, but please advise me. So we need this kind of young people to, not for us, the older generation, to be stuck in how we do things, because things have evolved.
Over times.
You know, tech age and all that. So that comes in very handy. Even though, I mean, these people didn't go to school to study becoming videographers or journalists and all that, but they do great and better jobs than some specialized journalists and all. So calling on even creating platforms to say, come share your experience. Let us learn what you have done, how your experiences, the good, the bad, the ugly. Share with us. When you create such platforms, you can fine tune and then spread the information across to other areas. Don't know if I've digressed a bit.
No. You're right on track.
And then that helps a great.
I'm just gonna say, where do you see the creative economy in the next 10 years? What is going to change? What are the potentials? What are the promises?
The promises are great because definitely right now, as we speak, a lot of people that have come into the social media creation, and you know, they're making a lot of money. Just like handling other people's pages or creating.
You sure that's not taken away from the youth also in one way? Because now, I mean, they see the money in there and they, you know.
Yes, but you know, you can't have it all. Not everybody is going to be rich, and not everybody is going to be poor. Not everybody is going to be wise. The wise ones will invest properly. The ones that are not wise will make mistakes, and hopefully they learn and then retrace their tracks and, you know, move in the right direction. So I don't see that as a distraction. I see that as a great potential for growth, innovation. Because in committing errors, they're improving upon themselves one way or the other. And it's so fast that it evolves so fast that I don't imagine seeing them where, I mean, 10 years ago, it was a different ballgame as to her. And, you know, so in another 10 years, it's just going to be absolutely exponential, you know, in terms of creativity and then the financial strength or infusion. In terms of financing and wealth that will be generated through AI, IT, tech, social media handling and stuff.
Thank you so much for speaking to us about the creative economy. It's a privilege to have hosted you.
Also, using this opportunity to encourage everybody to learn the French language. So, talking about my work, cultural diplomacy, French language, which is the French language, and then arts. So everything is interwoven, and then basically I'll just encourage everybody to learn the French language, learn a second language, a second foreign language or a third one, and learn other African languages. It's always very good to be able to say something in another person's language, and then it definitely opens doors and creates opportunities for success in life. That's it.
Thank you very much, Madam Olumide,
Thank
for
you.
joining us today.
Thank you. Yes.
We just had a conversation about the creative economy and how this is contributing to Africa's future prospects. And stay with us because we are going to bring you more information about the creative economy. We see quite a lot of potential, and the promises of the creative industry across Africa and the region will bring immense progress to the entire continent at large. Thank you very much. My name remains Richard Joseph. Thank you very much. My name remains Richard Joseph, and we'll be right back. Thank you so much, madam.